Hi, and thanks for watching. In this video, we're going to talk about an easy strategy for beginner traders. It's the breakout backtest strategy. So my name is Tyler Stokes from StokesTrades.com. I am on a journey to become a full-time trader. And in our previous video, we talked about the bullish engulfing candles, and we highlighted 4 stocks and an ETF that experienced a bullish candle on a weekly close. And now we're going to look at those same charts and we're going to see how we can enter those particular trades with this breakout backtest strategy. So below this video, you can find a link to that bullish engulfing candle stick video as well. And if you're a brand new trader or you're just a beginner, you can download my 6-month blueprint that has outlined everything that I've done on the first 6 months of my journey. So let's get started and let's talk about this breakout backtest strategy. So if you've ever sort of, watched a stock break out only to kind of pull back and leave you maybe second guessing your entry or wondering what was going on, you're not alone. Every sort of beginner has experienced this. And, timing the perfect entry after a breakout, it can feel like a hard thing to do, especially for beginners. And I think a lot of beginners get trapped in chasing a stock once it has broken out. Well, what if you can turn that pullback into this golden opportunity using a simple strategy that boosts your confidence and stacks the odds in your favor? And that's what we're going to talk about here in this video, this breakout backtest strategy. It's very beginner friendly. I'm going to show you the trade that I put on actually today before I recorded this video, and just shows how easy and effective this strategy can be. So again, this builds on our previous video about bullish engulfing candlesticks. And in that video, we talked about Tesla, Coin, BTDR, and ARK Invest, which all experienced a bullish engulfing candlestick for the weekly close on April 25th, 2025. Many other stocks did as well. Google did as well. And I'm going to show you now some good entry points to potentially jump into those stocks. And again, I did make some trade entries that I'm going to highlight with you here. So we're going to jump to the charts. I'm going to show you exactly what those look like. But first, let's just cover, what this breakout strategy really is. So what it is, it's basically very straightforward, yet powerful. And it focuses on 2 key phases. There's a breakout, and then there's a subsequent pullback or a back test. So a breakout occurs when a stock's price decisively moves above a resistance level. So this could be a moving average, a Fibonacci level, the Ichimoku cloud component. And basically this signals that a potential for an uptrend. And sometimes it can show a trend reversal. If these breakouts are happening on, the end of a downward movement or a trend in a stock, and then you've got a bullish engulfing candlestick that signals a breakout blasting through some resistance levels, that could indicate that the trend is going to change and it could continue to rise up. So what happens is eventually after that bullish engulfing candle, that breakout, there is a back test. And that happens when the price pulls back to retest some of those newly broken support levels. So this strategy, basically, it's ideal for beginners because it provides a very clear entry point with a sort of defined risk reward setup. So while here we're going to talk about weekly candlesticks and weekly charts, you can sort of follow this strategy with some shorter time frames as well. So if you're day trading or swing trading and you're looking at sort of the daily charts or sometimes the 4-hour charts, you can use this as well. And here on the screen, we've got the image, and basically this is Tesla. We're going to jump over to the charts in 1 second, but just as an image here, we've got a bullish engulfing candle. That's the breakout blasting through a bunch of resistance zones that we're going to talk about. And then the next week candle, we opened above, but we've retraced back and we hit a fib level. So that's a perfect example of a breakout backtest. And then an entry could be right at that fib level. So quickly here, just some key characteristics before we jump over to the charts. Again, the breakout, the stock price surges above usually key resistance levels. The back test, so after the breakout, the price pulls back to test the broken resistance levels. An entry point can be for some traders if you want to enter a long position when the price retraces back to some of those support levels. Again, this strategy is analyzed here on a weekly chart. So why it matters? Well, the breakout backtest strategy, it's effective because it leverages, the natural ebb and flow of the market. These breakouts often attract attention, but the pullback can sometimes shake out a lot of traders. So many times people, and I've done it myself in the past, chase price when it's running up, but sometimes that can be not always a good thing, because if you buy at resistance or you buy when a stock is peaking, you're going to get a pullback and you might get worried and scared and sell your shares. And there you bought at a high and sold at a low. You certainly don't want to do that. So you don't ever want to chase with various types of strategies. You'd rather wait for a pullback for your entry. And that is what this particular strategy is talking about. So let's jump over to the charts and we'll show how this is working currently with Tesla, Coin, BTDR, ARK Invest, and even Google. And I'll talk about some of the trades that I put on. So we'll jump over to TradingView. And here we can see we're looking at the weekly chart for Tesla. So Tesla, this particular week, starting Monday, April 21st to April 25th, we had a big weekly candlestick here. We had up 18% for the week. So, it started around 230 and it closed at 284. So almost 285 right up here. And what you can see here, this candlestick opened here, went through the Ichimoku cloud, through some GAN lines here that I have on this chart, through the 100 and 200 week moving averages and the 50-week moving average there. It went through a fib level here, or two fib levels, the conversion line from the Ichimoku cloud. So it blasted through a bunch of resistance levels, and it's on the bottom of this big downfall in Tesla price. So we've got a bullish engulfing candle and potentially a trend reversal. And then what happened the next week, we opened here at 288 and we rose up to this particular 290, low 290, and then we back tested some levels. So first back test was on the 50-week moving average there, right around 279. That didn't hold, and it went right back perfectly, almost perfectly, to the 0.72 fib. So that is a fib level, $272.79, and the low for this particular week so far was 272.42. So just beneath that. So if you were to wanting to enter this breakout backtest, you would potentially put an order in right at the 50-week moving average, and then you'd also dollar cost average potentially down to the fib level, and then you enter there, and now prices even gone back up here. And at the time of recording this, we're back at 285. So the breakout backtest, that could have been a good entry for Tesla in this fib level and potentially that moving average. Next stock, Coinbase. So Coinbase had, two bullish engulfing candles over the last few weeks, but this particular one, the last week, ending April 25th, it broke through the 100-day, 100-week moving average, broke through the Ichimoku cloud, through the conversion line, and there's a GAN line there as well, ended up there. And then on the subsequent week, we opened here and we back tested almost perfectly the 0.72 fib. So I had a order in for right at the $97.27, and I just missed it because it didn't fall that quite low, but it did retrace back to 197.42. So perfect backtest of that fib, and it's back on the rise, potentially going higher. So that is another breakout backtest. That could have been a good area. And, I missed it by a few cents there. I should, without being greedy next time, I can maybe put my entry a little bit higher, and I would have got that entry right around the 198 mark. That could have been a better entry. BTDR, a Bitcoin miner here. Again, we saw a big bullish engulfing candle through the Ichimoku cloud, through a fib level, through the 100-week moving average, and another fib level. And then we opened the next week here and retraced back to this level. So I put a trade in and got BTDR at 980. And I'm potentially going to enter it if it falls even lower, back to the $9 range. So that's going to be a breakout backtest. I put an entry there, and if it falls even further, I'm going to put another entry in there. So that's one other example. Another one, ARK Invest. Here we broke through the Ichimoku cloud, the 100-week moving average, the 50 moving average, the conversion line on the Ichimoku cloud. We've got a GAN line here. And again, same thing, broke out. And the next week started here and we back tested this already. So potentially that would have been a good entry point for ARK Invest if you feel that growth stocks are potentially going to rise after this fall we've had in the market. And then another trade that I personally put on, one final example here is Google. Google had a bullish engulfing candle here. You can see it completely encompasses the prior week's candlestick, went through the 100-week moving average into the cloud, and then went all the way up to the top of the cloud, got rejected at the top, and closed the week here right at the conversion line. Well, the next week we started here, I put an order in right at 160, and it fell all the way down to the conversion line on the Ichimoku cloud. The low here so far is 159.39. So my limit order for 160 got hit, and now we can see the stock is up at $2.38 since my entry. So a breakout backtest, that is a good level to buy. And if it fell down to the 100-week moving average at 157, I have a limit order down there as well. So if it retraces further, that would be my next entry. So there you can see a few examples, some trades I actually made. A breakout backtest, breaking out with the bullish engulfing candle through some resistance, and then the backtest, making some entries on some support areas. So that's a simple strategy. It's one that I'm following with a momentum strategy that I'm trading, and I'm currently showcasing and being transparent with all my trades in our school group. So if you have not joined our group on school, it's completely free. We've got almost 2,000 members now in the classroom section. We've got a trading challenge, and this is just me showing all my trades that I've been doing that I started in April 2025. And many other people are sharing their progress and sharing some trades they're doing, staying accountable to the group. And I think it's a good environment if you're looking to learn how to trade, just getting started. It's a great place for beginners to come and kind of stay committed to learning how to trade and starting your own journey on becoming a trader, a day trader, swing trader. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that you found this useful. This breakout backtest strategy, it's very easy to do and it can be effective. So it'll be interesting to watch these charts, Tesla coin, BTDR, and many others that have experienced a bullish engulfing candle, breaking through resistance, now a backtest, and we'll see in the coming days and weeks if some of these stocks and some others can continue to rise here out of April, and see what May 2025 has in store for some of these stocks. So thanks so much for watching. Hope that you found this useful. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.